You're saying if there's a mutant strain, this vaccine works well. At this moment, you don't know how effectively it works on the mutant strain either. You don't know how it works per se, and you don't know how it works on the mutant strain. Yet somehow you are exuding confidence that jab mutant strain aayega, this will help you against that.
Let me give a science behind this. Now, this is a Covaxin is a inactivated whole virion vaccine. That means all the antigens are represented. Now, in mutation, what happens is few proteins change. And that's why, you know, in Pfizer and all, where the spike protein is predominantly the vaccine component, there may be an issue. But in Covaxin, since you have an entire virus which is inactivated, and we know we have largest experience with inactivated vaccines as a humankind. And inactivated vaccines are safe. And in fact, phase 1 and phase 2 clinical trials have amply shown the safety of vaccine. So I don't think we should talk about the safety of vaccine. That issue is rested. The big question being asked is the efficacy. Now, remember, the vaccines from China and Russia also have a precedence of not having an efficacy data when they were launched. And
no, but is that the country, one second, China and Russia are amongst the least transparent authoritarian regimes in the world. When it comes to scientific validity, thoroughness of our process, the independence of our regulatory authorities, are China and Russia the countries you want to be compared to, Dr. Buddhiraja?
No, but Rahul, these vaccines are available outside of China and Russia. Middle East, it's being used. A lot of other countries we know where these vaccines are being used, and they have produced their own local efficacy data, and this efficacy data from one country and another country also varies. Now, we need to remember, WHO has clearly said any vaccine which is more than 50% efficacious can be used to break the transmission and protection. The second fact is that even if it does not, to me as an individual, give 100% efficacy, but still, if I get a disease, it will be not severe disease, pneumonia will not be there, mortality will be cut down. And at this moment, in unprecedented times, I think cutting down the severity of illness and mortality is the prime importance, provided it's a safe vaccine. Efficacy is a secondary issue, and yes, it should be there, it should be declared, but in times like these, giving a restricted approval.
Okay, Dr. Aviral Vatsa, let's delve into the mutation in the UK and the confidence that Bharat Biotech has, as also Dr. Balram Bhargav of the ICMR, when I interviewed him, said the same thing, that this is a whole virus vaccine, it's an inactivated vaccine, so we don't know what happens to the Pfizers and the Modernas in the case of this UK mutant, which spreads more rapidly, but they hope that in the case of the inactivated vaccine of Bharat Biotech, it will do well against any kind of mutation. How do you respond to Dr. Buddhiraja?
I think, so the statement that the Moderna or the Pfizer vaccines, we don't know how they are going to react to the new mutant strain, that is absolutely correct. And that is correct on the basis that we don't have any data yet against those mutant strains. Although most of the scientists are not that concerned about it, because the mutations have been found in some parts of the spike protein, and what is expected is that these vaccines are effective against many more epitopes. Now, epitopes are different regions on those spike proteins where these the antibodies are going to target, and hence they are expecting that efficacy might get affected, but it will still be effective against those new strains. Now, again, let's be very clear, let's be very mindful that nobody is claiming that although the Pfizer, the Moderna, or the Oxford, they have a clear-cut efficacy data, no one is claiming that they will be similar efficacy or exactly the same efficacy against the new strain. But how can we claim that against the new strain, we will have 100% efficacy for a vaccine for which we don't know the efficacy for the wild-type strain itself? Now, the argument that this the biotech vaccine is based on the complete virion, which means that the complete virus has been inactivated, which is a traditional way of doing things. And I understand that the technology is old. We have tried it. I'm not doubting that at all. Now, if for example, the virus actually mutates, that means the virion is going to change. That means the virus covering the spike protein, everything around it is going to change to that level. The vaccines are not going to work. Now, I must add one more thing, that the mRNA vaccines have the beauty, the robustness to be updated a lot more quickly, in the sense that if there is a change, a mutation, a bigger mutation in these viruses, you sequence that change, you quickly make an mRNA which is a lot quicker than inactivating the complete new virus, again generating a new vaccine, the traditional way of doing things. So to claim that it's based on a virion and then extrapolate to the fact that it will be effective against the new strain also is scientifically incorrect in my knowledge.